Welcome to Conversations That Build. This is a place where we have honest conversation about growth, leadership, and purpose. Today's episode is especially meaningful because I'm honored to sit with a powerful woman, a mother, a leader, an entrepreneur who has built success while growing a family and leading with purpose. My guest today, she's a mother, a leader, an entrepreneur who builds alongside her husband. A journey reflects faith, discipline, teamwork, and resilience. I really appreciate having you today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited to be here today. Also, really taking your time to learn more about me and our lifestyle. So, thank you so much, Bergeline.
You're welcome. So let's begin.
Awesome.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are behind the titles.
So, beyond titles, in high school, I really never played sports, but I was always into like the cheerleading. I was in a sorority in high school, so I always loved to be in different groups and I love to network. I was going to school for hospitality because I never really cared for like the studying or the literature. I was just always very into people. So I went to school for hospitality. I got my bachelor's in that. And initially, I worked my way up the corporate ladder in the restaurant world. And I was a general manager, again, because I loved people so much. But what I found is that I was just working so many hours. And when I got married, it was hard for us to kind of, balance seeing each other and still working in the GM role. And I'm just so blessed that we got into entrepreneurship. But before that, I was really just a social butterfly. I love to go out. I love to try different foods.
Yes.
Working out was always something that was, very important to me. But yeah, that's really me outside of the business world.
Yeah, I really like the cheerleaders part because I never knew that you were cheerleaders.
Oh my God, yes, I was the rah girl all the time.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
How did your entrepreneurial journey begin?
So I was actually still working at the restaurant, and we got married in Michigan. We had a big wedding in Michigan, and then after that, my husband moved here to Florida. Thankfully, I didn't have to move to Michigan, so he moved here, and he completely started over. And we actually, through networking at my current restaurant position, we met somebody that introduced us to the life insurance industry. Initially, Haas started as just a salesman. He worked at an amazing company, but what he found is that he didn't want to sell his entire life. And what's so crazy is on the floor above the business that he was working at, Patrick Bet-David actually opened up Valuetainment a floor above him. And then everything just started to align. Haas started looking into PHP, researching on Instagram, watching a lot of the Valuetainment videos. And that's how we met our mentor and our coach, Rodolfo Vargas, through Instagram. And through that, we were invited to a big event. We got to see the vision of PHP. We got to really see what people were doing on such a large scale. And since then, we were just sold into the vision of network marketing, building a big business, leaving a legacy. But really, if it wasn't for Patrick moving to the floor above Haas and all the signs were just leading to PHP, we really wouldn't be here today.
I can say it's like moving here is like a big sacrifice, but it's worth it, right?
Yeah, and it's crazy to think like he moved here really with no plan,
Without any family.
no family. He had my family, but it's still different.
Different. Like the man moved like with the lady. It's like it's kind of
Unheard
different.
of. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
everyone was very mad at me when Haas moved
Yes.
here. His family was like, "What is going on?"
But now they.
I think look. His mom is. I'm so blessed with such an amazing mother-in-law, and my sister-in-law is seriously, Bergeline, like my closest friend ever.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just so blessed, and I think the goal is now that they even want to move here because who wouldn't want to
They
move
enjoy
to
it
Florida? Yeah, who wouldn't want to move here?
Yes, and the weather also is is
Definitely better. Yeah, I think it's like 30 degrees there in
Yes.
Michigan right now.
Okay. How did you separate business decisions from marriage emotions?
Oh, wow. So you're talking about like if we're fighting and then we have to come to the office?
Yes.
Well, in the beginning, it was hard. I think it would be hard for anybody. But what's so crazy is that when you run a business with your spouse or even anybody you love, even if it's a family member,
Yes.
you realize that you're going to make decisions that benefit the business. right? So even if you're angry with each other, you wouldn't make poor decisions towards the business. So through that process, you kind of learn like, okay, I'm really mad at you, but our business can't fail because that's really how we live our life.
Yeah.
So we learned through trial and error that business had to be completely separate. And when you're fighting about your business, the plus side of it is it shows that you're fighting because you both care.
Yes. And also, I remember you said one day, at the beginning when you both like were mad, and it took like one day. Now it's like 2 hours, and you just trying to reduce that and make it better for the business.
Haas is a Gemini, and if you know anything about Geminis, they go from 0 to 100, and then they go from 100 to 0 just as fast. I don't want to say bipolar, but like very similar. Like he'll be mad and he'll be like, "Babe, where do you want to go eat?" And I'm like, "Weren't we just mad at each other?" But in business, you end up having so much fun.
Yes. Yeah. What values keep you aligned as partners?
God is always first in our
Mhm.
life. God is number one. Without God, we wouldn't have any of this. We're so grateful. Operating with gratitude through everything. You know, we don't have to do this. We get to do this. And I think that's a lot of, it's something people forget along the way. And most importantly, following the vision, right, is helping people, allowing people to create an income, showing people what's possible, mindset, growth. I would say a lot of reading, a lot of self-development. Keeping us aligned, you know, I really think one of the hardest things to live with is to go through life and know that you're not living at your fullest potential.
Yes.
I never wanted to go through life and be like, man, I could have did better. Or, oh, I wish I had, I mean, not I wish, I had the time to do more. I wish I did it sooner. I never really wanted to live with any regret in life.
Still have the dream, but never achieve it.
Never fulfill it, right?
Yeah.
Because dreams are really just goals. And if you set the right amount of goals, you can achieve the dream.
That's what you can do. But if you just put yourself on the work, I think you can achieve.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Good question.
That's amazing. What mindset shifts were necessary to succeed?
The mind can do such powerful things. The mind can talk you out of anything. And I think just controlling that and ultimately knowing what you're working for, knowing your why, coming up with business planning, you know, creating a vision. And when I say vision, it's not just like putting pages on a paper and saying that's my vision. It's really understanding what is that vision going to require of you? What person is that going to look like? What actions does that person take? Who does that person surround themselves with? What is that person reading? And then you have to start acting that way. But most importantly, the mindset is really, for me, the biggest part of it is who you surround yourself with, right? Because if I want to be a millionaire and I'm surrounded by 5 people that are broke mindset and negative, I'll never be able to get there.
They always said, I tried before, but it never worked. So
Never worked.
Doing that. If you surround yourself with this kind of people, I think, your mind gonna be like that. Every time you try to do something, you will become like them.
100%. And you know, you can't have a positive and negative thought at the same time.
Yeah, that's why I always tell my friends. So if you wanna become someone, like, it's not only just tell yourself that I'm gonna be just showing yourself with those people, try to eat with them, talk like them, or like, you know, and one day you will do it naturally and become that person.
Right.
If you put yourself to like that work.
And you know what? Like, I know where this is about interviewing me, but if I've seen that happen with anybody, Virginie, it's you. You have completely transformed your identity, the way you're speaking, the way you're walking. Like, we should do a video of you when you first started and how you are now. It's a complete 360 transformation.
Yeah, I can say that. I also observe that, and I say, like, I usually have this as you said before, like, you have that vision, and now you surround yourself with those people. You kind of feel yourself at in that place, and you're like, you started to act like that, and you see this is really you, and you wanna like push more and see what is your potential. So
and think of how many women around the world are really inspired by that. So that's the real flex, is how many people hear your story and they're like, wow, I want to be just like her. So I love that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. As a mother, what sacrifices did you make people like don't see? Like,
okay. As a mother, look, I think moms make the most sacrifices, and a lot of them are not given trophies or recognition or even like a good job for doing them. But I think that's what makes moms so special. I think that's what makes mothers superheroes
Yes.
to their kids. You know, the late nights, dealing with kids that are sick, you know, taking your kids places, getting them dressed in the morning, dealing with tantrums. All kids have tantrums, by the way. There's no
Yes.
perfect child. But I think, you know, there's so many things that are done behind the scenes. But really, that's what makes mothers so powerful.
So
I
powerful.
believe women and mothers just hold so much power because we're able to carry so much weight.
Mhm.
And I remember I always said this when I had both of my kids, because after the first 3 months when you have a baby, you're running on very little sleep, but you're still able to do it all. And I genuinely feel like God gave women a superpower where even on like 3-4 hours of sleep, they're still able to keep a human alive and fed and well. So that's one part. And the other sacrifices, you know, I would say working in the beginning, but that's only in the first few years. Like the third year in network marketing, we are able to take our kids places. We're able to be there with them. So I would say if you're willing to do the sacrifice more in the beginning, maybe it's daycare, maybe it's a nanny, maybe it's a little bit more time at the office. You know, I think you'll actually be able to give your kids a little bit more if you're willing to put that work in the beginning.
Yes, I didn't have a kid yet, but I do raise my little sisters, so I can feel that. And as a firstborn, also, I can also feel that. I feel like I am a mom, even though I don't have any kids yet. But
It's
I know,
natural.
yeah. I mean, I can say, yes, we do a lot of sacrifice as a woman, and also, yeah,
The
and I
one
can feel
thing,
that.
the one thing I never really wanted to carry, which was, you know, so I think something I experienced in the beginning was guilt.
Hmm.
Guilt of leaving my kids or guilt
Yes.
of being away at work. But, you know, I never carry guilt anymore. And it's because I really process that we're examples for our children. We're going to give them the best life possible, whether it's private school, every sport, coaches, all of those things. And really, you wouldn't be able to give your kids those resources without having the income
Yes.
or having a business. So I was really able to remove all the guilt. And of course, you know, our kids miss us sometimes, but when they're on vacations or when they're here at the office or when
Yes.
they're doing all these great things, they're not like, oh my God, mommy, you know, I missed you when you were at work. So we're able to give our kids a lot more, and operating without guilt, I think, is very important.
Yes, that life. So now you remove that guilt to replace it with I'm doing all of that for them to like to have a better life in the future. So I think that it's a good mindset. I can say yeah.
It's a little bit easier, right?
Yes. What advice would you give couples thinking about working together?
Do it. Society tells you not to do it. Society tells you don't work with your husband. Oh my God, I would kill myself. Oh my God, it's so hard. But don't we get married to spend time with our spouse?
Yes.
Isn't that why you get married? Because you love your spouse? I'm not saying it's all peaches and rainbows. It's not. But you know, if I had to go to lunch with a coworker or my husband, I would choose my husband. If I would, you know, want to go on a meeting with a business partner or my husband, I would choose my husband. So it's a lot of fun, and you know, you have to go through the process, and you have to really enjoy every single moment. In the beginning, I can't lie, like we were fighting a lot. We were really learning how to work with each other. But what's so great about our industry is that there's so many other couples that you could seek advice from. Because I'll tell you one thing: if you want to pursue something, and let's say, you know, you're in a marriage and you're taking advice from somebody who's divorced, that's probably not the right advice to take. So for me and Haas, when we got into this business, I was speaking to the other couples that were doing very, very well. They were building a big business together. They had, you know, great working dynamics. So I was always asking questions and processing issues with people that were in the industry versus going, you know, to outside sources or things like that. So I would recommend to do it. And again, it all goes back to who you surround yourself with.
Yes. I remember I was watching a video. A girl, she has her own business with her husband too. She was saying at the beginning it was hard for her
Yeah.
to like work together, and after that they started to sitting together, and they have the office. They usually have the office at the same place, and she said, "No, now we have got to process other ways. I'm gonna have mine downstairs. You're gonna have yours upstairs every time because we spend too much time together." So they have the offices like separate. So now it's very cool with them.
Yeah.
So
And
because they work like separately, but after if they miss each other and
I
they
can just
go
go in
to,
the
yeah,
office.
and not to the office and
Yeah.
just see, go take a coffee, it's like,
You
I
know,
can
what you
feel.
learn through the process is roles, right? Like, these are my roles, these are your roles, this is what
Mhm.
you deal with, this is what I deal with, and this is my office. My husband's office is like 3 offices down, so working separate is definitely promoted.
Yes.
It helps, but also knowing what your roles are.
Yeah, it is.
And never tell a man what to do.
No.
That's what I learned. You ask questions like, hey, what do you think about this? Even though you may already know the answer.
The answer, yeah.
Men do not like to be told what to do.
Yes.
So
They are like that. They're like,
I would say, my biggest takeaway.
yeah, that's mean you even though like you kind of be like, okay.
Yeah. There was a movie called My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I don't know if you ever watched it, but
No,
she said the man is the head and the woman is the neck, and if she does it right, she can move the head any way she wants. So be smart, ladies.
Yes.
Okay, be smart.
Yeah. That's a good move.
Yeah.
What values are you intentionally teaching your children by letting them witness your journey?
Don't give up. Be strong-minded. I think getting up, getting dressed, looking nice, getting up early, going to the gym, eating healthy. Things are caught, they're not taught. So your kids are watching you every day. They're listening to how you speak. They're listening to what you're doing.
Yes.
They're watching you scroll sometimes on social media, where sometimes I'm like, oh my God, this is not a good example. I have to stop. So really, I want my kids to be around us and understand leadership. Definitely God, we practice during Ramadan. And that way they're learning from their parents. Prayer is so important. Gratitude.
And also the mindset also.
The mindset, and the mindset is really caught through actions.
Yes.
Every Saturday, they know we wake up in the morning, we go to the office, and we come home and we do something together.
Mhm.
So now my son is like so conditioned, like, oh my God, mommy, what are we going to do after off the office on Saturday?
Yeah.
And I also told my son, when he was really able to start understanding, mommy has to go to work. Right? And mommy has to build the business, and that way you can have all these nice toys and we can do all these great things together.
They have to understand at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times, in the beginning I used to tell them, oh, I'm going, I'll be right back. But if you're not honest with your kids, then it creates distrust between the child and the parent. So I realized just being transparent and really letting them know what we're doing caused a lot more comfort.
In the future, they will keep that as a lie every time you say that I will be back, and not being honest. It's not good.
Yeah, and then your husband, your son will look for somebody like his mother, and the daughter will look for somebody like their father.
Yes.
So it's very important to be a good example.
I agree with that. And I always say that I want my kids to, if they have someone to look up to, my mom is my example.
My mom is probably like the most loved woman on the planet, and she is the best freaking chef ever. I think I got the love attributes from her, but I don't know how to cook. I'm like, I can cook like grilled chicken and that sort of things, but
you don't have the big skills.
No. My God, my mom is just incredible.
But it's okay.
Yeah. Thank God she helps us, right?
You know to make money now.
Yeah, exactly. I can be a chef in the future, yes. Right? That's what we need. Yep.
If you could speak to a woman who fears that business might cost her family, what would you tell her?
It's a normal feeling in the beginning. I think anytime we try something new, fear is going to kick in. The wonder of what if, right? But then you got to think of the other side. How much is it going to cost you if you're working 9 to 5 every day, or you're working nights every day? Either way, you're going to have to be around your kids. Mm-hmm. And what I realize is the cost you pay, you need to know that there's a bigger prize on the other side. So for us in the beginning with network marketing, when we got into this business, we were so clear on what we were doing. Where now, if my son has a soccer game, or he has practice, or he has a birthday party, I can take off and put leaders in our business to take over, and I don't have to call somebody to request off work, or call somebody to be there, where I can just be present for my child. Some people will say, network marketing, doesn't allow you to be with your kids. It's actually quite opposite. It allows you to be more present with your kids. You can bring your kids with you to meetings. You can do business from your phone. So I really think it's just reversing a mindset. A lot of times the way we think naturally is what we were taught, or a blueprint of how we were raised. So it's really just recreating a blueprint and understanding a new way to think. And like I said in the beginning, your mind will talk you out of things. So you really got to control that.
Yeah, they're gonna
Families
be
are apart
reserved. Yes,
anyways.
and yeah.
And I wanted to be more present. And
So
I never
now,
wanted the government to tell me when to take a vacation.
no.
I wanted to choose my own vacations.
I remember when I have my first job, and I was like, I go to work, and in the morning I'm like, I don't eat a lot, but I wanna eat like every single like 2 hours, eat something.
Yes,
And
same.
when I am at work, sometimes it's like too busy. I spend the whole almost the whole day without eating anything. I was like, I come back home, and I was like, no, I don't like somebody tell me
You
this
can't
is
eat.
you can't eat. That's why.
That's why you come into network marketing.
Yeah.
Anybody that doesn't like being told what to do, this is a sign for you to join network marketing.
Yes, yeah, and I go home and I pray God. I say, no, God, I don't like this life, so please guide me through something so I would like to do, and I will be free in the.
Yep.
Yeah. This is
Good
how it
point.
is.
It's true.
Yes. Looking back, what did building together teach you about love, partnership, and purpose?
Looking back, it's so amazing to watch how you grow over the years. Take a lot of pictures, take a lot of videos, have a lot of fun with it, because you really appreciate the sacrifices that you both go through. And I honestly think it builds a stronger bond. It builds a stronger bond because you're going through struggles together. You're going through a lot of wins together, and you're learning throughout the process. Sometimes, guys, people will look at their problems and say, why me? Versus having a problem and being like, okay, what is God trying to teach me with this right now? Or maybe in the future, when I'm bigger, I have a bigger business, I can avoid this. So I think looking back, it's a lot of gratitude. Um, a lot of like learning as you go. That's the beauty of network marketing. You don't really know what you're doing, and then you just kind of figure it out, and then you just become better along the way. And I'm just so grateful for the coaching that we had. But with our bond, seeing my husband, just when we first got married, from us doing the business, and then seeing him as a father, and now seeing him as a leader, I just think it really all comes full circle, and it builds a much stronger connection. And I'm excited to see, what we have coming in the future with all of our team and you guys.
Yes. And also, you would be so proud of him too, watching him both, and you will like, this is my husband. And
Yeah.
you didn't know him like that, but now you saw him. It's like you fall more. I can see, right?
Personally, let me be totally honest with you. Haas has always been somebody that people looked up to, somebody that I was always proud of. But it grows stronger every single day. Like, he's always been truly like a man's man. He's always been a leader. And I think he was born to be in positions like these. And there's a lot of men and women out there that are born leaders, that are meant to be speaking, that are meant to be influencing, that are meant to be helping people. And sometimes they're not able to, use that talent. But Haas is somebody that seriously always had it.
Yeah, this is what I learned. I mean, I usually know what I feel inside, but like put it that on work and use that. I would say that I was so shy to use my talent. So now I'm here using it, and I said I want to help every people who like have this, and how you gotta go look up what is your talent, what is your power, and just started to use it, and in a way to be creative and find a solution to don't stuck in your like 9 to 5. Sometimes it's a sign to just move on and go fully in your business, and use it up like what God gave you as a small thing. So just use it as your first step, and now you will see the result.
100%. And the key is hunger. Being hungry. How hungry are you for a bigger life? How hungry are you to do more? How hungry are you to make an impact in the world? And I think anybody with hunger can really do this business.
Yes.
Awesome. Is that it?
Yes. This conversation is just a reminder that leadership isn't only about money or titles. It's also about the real journeys like that. And as a woman, as a mother, as an entrepreneur, so you gotta go through a bunch of stuff. But the beautiful thing, the beauty of it is like building together. And if this conversation spoke to you, share it with someone, and You never know. Thank you, and thank you for being here,
Thank you so much
Naveen,
for having
and
me on, Bergeline.
no,
was great.
no problem. You're welcome. So until next time, goodbye.